In Guatemala, there aren't many occasions boys and girls get to mingle. This is mainly because both boys and girls both have separate jobs and they don't get to see each other, or if they go to school, they have boy-only classes and girl-only classes. So there's not really any opportunities for them to date and mingle. During courtship, the girl can be greeted by their suitor, but he may not touch her as she draws for water. The only opportunity for any touching would be as she balances the water jug on her head. This is where he can come in and hold her wrist to help her and support her and be a good gentleman. In Guatemala, the marriage age is 18 years old for both men and women. This became a new law in 2015. Before, girls could be 14 years old to get married, and boys could be 16 years old to get married. This was an issue because they were really, really young. In Guatemala, there's not really a marriage license requirement, but there is an equivalence of a marriage license. This would be having a thing called a civil wedding. The civil wedding is required under Guatemalan law whether or not the couple also has a church wedding, so it is possible to have two, just like here in America. In the wedding, the whole family, for both sides, is expected to attend and be involved. In the ceremony, there is a special time where the family gathers around the groom and bride to place a silver rope around them. This rope represents their union, not just as the couple, but as the family in all. The bride typically wears the traditional blouse and skirt of Guatemala, with white shoes, and a very long veil. The longer the veil, the happier the couple will be, is a saying. The groom typically wears a traditional suit, and the type of ceremony that's held is pretty traditional since 50% of the culture is Catholic. The average size of a wedding can be small with family, especially if it's just a civil wedding, or it can include the whole community where maybe 800 people would be a part of it. The size of the party also, it just varies between the couple and who they want to be involved in that. In Guatemala, there are many different types of foods or special meals that are eaten, especially during weddings. The classic meals that are eaten would include any chicken, rice, black beans, tamales, and just anything along the lines of that, where it can feed a lot of people. Some special traditions that they do at Guatemalan weddings are where after the ceremony, the groom's mother brings a ceramic white bell. This bell is filled with rice, grains, and flour. This symbolizes good luck and fortune to the couple and to have a long, happy life together. Since Guatemala is primarily a third world country, most newlyweds won't be able to afford to get anything to live in by themselves, so most of them live with either of their parents and share one or two rooms with the whole family, so there won't really be any personal space. The role of parents after marriage is to really just mainly support the newlyweds. They will show support by housing them, helping them with money, giving them speeches on especially behavior or responsibility as a couple that is married. In the marriage, the primary roles of spouses are mainly just to work so that they can provide for their families. As long as they work and they have respect for each other, the couple doesn't really have these roles. It's important for most to go back to work since many are without money and without different food and supplies. While there's not a legal process to get a divorce, spouses can still leave each other. If the woman leaves her husband, his family will try to convince her to come back. And then infidelity is also handled if a man is cheating on his wife. An appeal can be made to have her parents take her back so that she won't be in that situation anymore.